Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's EmpressTeepha here. In today's video I want to show you how I roast groundnuts or peanuts at home. So the first thing I'll be doing is to pick out all the bad seeds and impurities from the groundnuts. So afterwards, in a pot of boiling water, I'm going to add salt to taste. Then I'll pour the groundnuts into the boiling water. So after pouring the groundnuts, I'll put up the heat immediately. This to avoid cooking the groundnuts. We don't want to cook our groundnuts. So I'll just put up the heat and then I will allow the groundnut to sit inside the pots of hot water for 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, I'll pour out the water from the groundnuts. To check if the salt is okay, I'm picking one seed and tasting it. I'll just peel off the back, then taste it to check if the salt is okay. So if I want more salt in my groundnut, I'll just sprinkle a little more on top of the groundnut. Then I'll mix it so that the groundnut is evenly salted. Now I'm going to pour it into a tray, then take it outside in the sun to go and dry. Then after drying, we now come and roast it. Okay, so now the groundnut is all dried. It is time to roast. So the pan I want to use, I put it on the stove, then I'm pouring salt. Now the salt I'm pouring into this pan is not part of your recipe. That's what we are using to roast. 1 grain of this salt will not enter the groundnut. Trust me on that one, because I know some people will be scared that okay, this salt that we are pouring inside this pan, hope it's not like the groundnut will now be salty, or if it's going to be healthy or something like that. No, not 1 grain of this salt is entering the groundnut. It is just a medium of roasting. Now some people use other things like sand. I don't think that is healthy. Some people use gari, which is cassava flakes. I've tried that once, but I don't really like it because the gari kept sticking to the bottom of the pan. So the one I like the most is the salt, and it always comes out perfect. Okay, so after pouring the groundnut inside the pan, we need to start stirring it. You have to stir occasionally. You can take little breaks here and there, but the stirring needs to be constant, because you don't want one part of the groundnut to roast or cook completely while the other part is not roasted or not cooked or still tastes raw, or you don't want one part to be burnt and all of those things. So we need to stir and stir and stir continuously until the groundnut is well roasted. I should also add that the groundnut should be roasted using low to medium heat, so that it doesn't burn instead of actually roasting. And also, the longer it roasts, the tastier it is, so the heat should not be high. So typically the groundnut will roast for about 20 to 30 minutes. So to check the groundnut, I'll just pick a seed and peel it off and just taste it to check if it is okay. And once I'm sure that it is well roasted, I'm going to put up the heat, then remove the groundnut from the salt. Now our groundnut is ready, so the only thing we need to do now is to just make sure it cools down, then peel it off. If you don't want to peel off your groundnuts, please just bottle it immediately or put it in one airtight container immediately, because once air begins to enter the groundnut it will start getting soft. So if you want to peel it, just allow it to cool down, and immediately it cools you should start peeling. If you don't start peeling immediately and air enters, you won't be able to peel it off. So if you are peeling, peel immediately it cools down and bottle it. If you are not peeling, just bottle it immediately it cools down. If you don't bottle it immediately, then air will start entering, then it will start getting soft, and when it starts to get soft it's not as crunchy and you don't enjoy your groundnut that much again. Okay, so now to the peeling. There are different ways to peel your groundnuts. So you can peel it one by one, pick the seeds one by one. That's if you don't want split groundnut seeds. But if you don't care about the look of your groundnuts after peeling, if you don't mind the splitting of seeds, so you can just do it the way I'm doing it right now. Just rub it between your palms, or get a container and rub it inside, then blow out the chaff and you are good to go. The thing is, even when you peel one by one, you still see that some seeds, some of the groundnuts will split into two, but you don't get plenty split seeds that way. You get very few split groundnuts that they will break into two. You don't get as many. But when you just rub it between your palms, or you rub it in a container or something like that, you are going to get plenty groundnut seeds that they will be broken into two, and those are not very pretty to look at when you pour it inside your container. But all those ones that will stay one by one, that they don't split into two, they are always very pretty when you bottle your groundnuts. But it does not really matter since you are eating it and all of that. So you don't, because peeling one by one is not easy. It is very, very tedious. So, and while you are peeling, you have to be careful, because there are some seeds that when we were picking out before roasting, before, we will not see them, because from the outside they look good, but inside they are not good again. So it is this time that we are peeling the groundnuts that we are going to see all those ones. So it is easier when peeling to just pick out the bad ones and just pick them out of the groundnuts before bottling them. So when you are done peeling and you are done removing all the bad seeds, and you have blown out the chaff, the only thing that is remaining is just to bottle the groundnuts, which is what I am doing currently now. I can hear from the sound of that, the sound that bottle is making, that the groundnut is very, very crunchy, very, very crunchy, guys. Now we have come to the end of this video. Thank you for staying with me till the very end. If you watched till this moment, that means you enjoyed the video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go, okay? And please like this video and share it to your family and friends. Bye.